Oh my gulay. Look at the kitchen. Pretty much just the floor here. My kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. This is my kitchen. The ceiling is pretty much done in one day. The whole ceiling is done. It's the ceiling in the bathroom. Maybe final touches here on the kitchen. We're gonna stain it all and then we're gonna seal it.
Hey, my name's Tal, and I've been traveling the world for the last 8 years. A little before the global pandemic, I fell in love with a small island in the Philippines. I experienced complete freedom, fell in love with surfing, and had memories to last a lifetime. So much so that I decided to build a house here. So let's build a house in Siargao.
Currently beautifying the area. Preparations are coming through for the kitchen right now. Carving out the window! Nice! We're gonna be installing a ceiling here. You can see the window fixture over there. A little window that you can look out to the garden from here. You can see Rico and the gang have started working now on the kitchen. 10 birds of paradise up here. And then we've got 100 patches of grass. We got 7 of these in one area and the rest in this area. Hey guys, welcome to a new week building the house here in the Philippines on Siargao Island. I'm walking over to the lot right now. It is actually Wednesday, not Monday. I haven't started this vlog on a Monday this time because, well, it's not because I haven't been to the lot, and it's not because they haven't been working, because both of those things have happened. Hello, hello, hello. It's the little morning greeting club. Hello. I love you guys so much. You guys are growing so beautiful. I love you so much. I'm so excited for these guys to be big dogs. They're gonna be so friendly. Or they're gonna be terrible, I don't know. So they have definitely been working on the lot. We have just been hammered by these like 2 typhoons here. It's been raining like crazy, hard to use cameras out in the outside. And in addition, my phone corrupted this week, so I lost everything I had on my phone, and I don't remember what else. Oh, and my tuk-tuk has basically broken to the point where it's almost unusable at this point. I'm having to deal with getting it fixed. So lots of crazy stuff has happened this week, but pulling up on the lot right now. Should give you guys a little update because a lot of amazing things have happened this week. Oh my gulay. Wow, kuya. New week, new things. Look at the kitchen. It's amazing. Wow, this is the dream kitchen right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. It's coming together. Look at we got the flooring going on. We got the countertops already. So amazing. And obviously this week, there's been a big break on the inside of the house. Like, we haven't really been working on the inside because we are preparing to do a ceiling. So the inside is still what you guys saw last week. Pretty much just the floor here. The bathroom still needing a floor and needs some finishing done. And then obviously the ceiling up here that we need to put in. But we are working hard in the kitchen right now. And as we come to the end of the week, this is probably going to be finished, which is really exciting. You know what time of the vlog it is. It's chicken time, baby. Hey, babies. Here you go. Let's dump this out for you. Here. And we'll put this down over here. What's up, girl? You excited to see your father? These are my children's. These are my children's. I love you guys. I love all of you guys. You're so cute. You're the best. Okay, see you guys later. So basically, again, as week by week with this project going on, I'm realizing this is going to be the sort of hardest part of the project is the finishing. There's so much involved in doing it right and getting it done properly, you know, and it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be the harder part. So right now we've got a plan for them to finish the flooring of the kitchen area. And then they're going to start working directly on the ceilings for both the inside of the house and for the inside of the bathroom. After that, we're really going to get into the fine details of placing windows in and painting. We're looking at a week and a half to 2 weeks more. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, this is pretty much the update. There's not much to show you guys. The kitchen will be done by tomorrow, so I'll be able to show you guys the finished product there. And then they'll begin working straight on the ceiling, which should take about a week. So here's another side episode, sort of side quest idea for the house. I'm here and other workers are here. It's the end of the day. This is my surfboard. One of my first surfboards when I moved to the island of Siargao. Actually, I think it's the second surfboard I owned once I moved here. And I mean, first thing, the surfboard is very sentimental because it's the surfboard that sort of taught me how to surf, and also it's the one where I caught some of the first most memorable waves of my life with. specifically around the Cloud9 Tuason area, deep in the pandemic when there was no people yet on the island of Siargao. Super memorable experiences with this board. I love it to death. I love the way it looks. I love everything about it. But obviously it's been torn to shreds, damaged and broken in half by me. And I'll never forget it. I was surfing in Jacking Horse on a day that was way too big for my abilities. But a lady that believed in me more than I believed in myself or had the abilities to prove to her told me to take a very big wave that was coming. I took it, and then one thing led to another, and I had to do the walk of shame out of Jacking Horse break with 2 surfboards instead of 1. So now the goal is I'm going to put it back together for the railing of the stairs that will go right here, the railing of the stairs. So the concept that I came up with the contractor and the workers here is that they're going to build basically a little wooden frame, probably out of plywood or cocoa lumber. Something very basic, very affordable. And then we'll put the board right inside. And when we measured out the board and the size of this, it's exactly like a little over 8 feet across this entire thing. And the board's 9 feet. So I'm going to put it back together. And if we need to shave any parts of it off, we can just shave parts of it off to stick it in there. But the goal is put it back together, paint it white, leave the fin black. And yeah. So the first part is putting it back together. I don't think I'm going to film so in depth the entire process. What I'm probably going to do is just stick some stakes in it to hold it together, and then I have some epoxy, a mix of epoxy that I'm going to use to just sort of glue it, hold it, and tomorrow I'll probably tape it, plaster it with something else, and then paint over it. So first things first, Surfboard's got to come here to the workbench. This thing has been sitting out for so long and rotting that it started growing plants on the inside of the foam, the styrofoam that's in here, which is freaking crazy. Yeah, there's like moss and plants in here. But it shouldn't affect the ability of putting it back together, I don't think. All right, there you go. That's the, there's a metal rod in there now. And now I gotta connect the 2 pieces. This is gonna be fun. All right, I'm like 60% there. Just gotta push these 2 pieces together. I'm almost got it. So here at the end of the day, you can see they've actually concreted these the tops of the septic tank, so you can pull that out. And also, the kitchen is done. I mean, structurally done, yeah? We still don't have a fridge or a stove or a sink or the pipes or a lot of things, but structurally the kitchen is done. So what I'm thinking I'm actually going to commission them to do, because within our plan, this is supposed to be a closed area so I can actually store things there and put pots and pans. I'm probably going to ask them to build a plywood sort of box around that, probably from the reserve plywood that we have for the roof, and just close that off as a box, make it look really nice so you can actually store things in there, shelves and whatever. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another day building a house here in the Philippines. I woke up today with this extremely appreciative feeling. I don't know how to explain it. Yesterday was a beautiful day. I've been surfing a little bit, which I haven't had time to do so much since we started building because I've been so busy with this build. But I don't know, I just woke up today feeling grateful for having this land to work on, for having this house built, for the workers, for the contractor, for everyone. I am feeling so grateful about everything. Just really positive vibes, especially now that we're sort of progressing so much. This is me just casually showing you guys around. Look how cool my house is. But today, very exciting stuff. Rico and the gang have begun working upon the ceiling. Now this is 2 ceilings that we're working on. We're doing a ceiling on the interior of the restroom, as we talked about yesterday. So here, and then also the main ceiling, which will be up here. I'll show you guys what they're doing. So basically the ceiling is going to be comprised of 1/4 plywood. 1/4 plywood sheets that is just being used to hide the stuff that we don't want to expose, like this cocoa lumber here and all these little gaps. It's basically going to seal the house. It's going to make it so there's very, very minimal gaps. As you can see here, you know, we're just trying to seal the house as much as possible. That way when we install air conditioning here, the air isn't escaping as well. Look at that, they've already progressed so much. You guys worked really fast, huh? This is super quick. Very good. I like so much. I like so much. Okay, so yesterday I started working on the surfboard, which is going to be our sort of guardrail here. So the next thing that I need to do is epoxy the other side. If you guys watched that part yesterday, you can see there's still a giant crack here, and it's still pretty movable. I mean, I think the epoxy is probably set. Oh, also another update, kitchen is done. This is really exciting. I think I can walk on this already. Yeah, that's all hard. Wow, that's a freaking kitchen if I've ever seen one. That is amazing. Look, I'm walking in my kitchen. I'm walking around in my own kitchen. This is so cool. I love it. I love it so much. My kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. This is my kitchen. All right, so I went to the local hardware shop. I bought some more epoxy to get this jam ready. But let's see if this was able to seal it all. Yeah, oh yeah, it looks like it did a pretty good protective cover. Oh wait, maybe not that good of a protective cover. Oh, it definitely has sealed a little bit. That's good. Okay, that's good enough. I think if I risk flipping it now, I think if I flip it over now, it's probably gonna snap in half. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay down another layer of epoxy here, just to seal this crack, and then I'll actually be able to work with it. So the goal is, what I want to do is I bought this Volca seal, which is sort of like a sealing for pipes. I don't know if it'll work very well for this, but I'm thinking I'll just plaster this over here. I'll use this whole back to get really into all the gaps and the seams in here to really create like a nice seal. And then I'll epoxy over one more time, and then I will duct tape the crap out of it, and then paint it, and hopefully all that should make a pretty strong product. The thing doesn't really need to hold up anything, it's just going to be a guard. So let's see, I'm going to start epoxying now. So if you don't know with epoxy, you got two parts. You got part A and part B. Just got to use something small to snap it open. That's part one. And that's part two. So the only reason I know how to use epoxy is because this year I have damaged many a surfboard. And you know, when I first started damaging the surfboard, I used to take them to, you know, surfboard shapers and people to fix them. And then I realized that, like, I could probably just do an okay job by myself. This is by no means me recommending you fix your surfboards at home. I tend to like to do DIY a lot. I like to learn things online, so I definitely don't do a good job like the people who know how to do this professionally, but I feel like I've done a good enough job where I've been able to fix my surfboard without having to pay for it. Or not pay for much, except for epoxy. So this is the part one. Put part one. I just use a very basic popsicle stick. Lay that down. And then part B. You do equal parts. Then comes the fun part. You mix it all together. And the texture and the consistency should come out kind of like a little bit harder than glue. It gets a little smooth and it turns into like this light gray color, and that's how you know it's mixed in. Just like that. There you go. That's epoxy mix. So I'll just move these guys to the side. Also, it tends to smell really bad. It smells like ass. It does not smell very good. Now I got a good clump of epoxy here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to layer it down on this old crack. So again, this is not supposed to ever be surfed again. This is going to be used as a guardrail for the stairs. I'm just repairing this strictly for the appearance. And I'm not doing a great job because I'm doing it on a budget and I'm doing it by myself. And if I ever want to change it, I could always change it. It's not a big deal. But you live and you learn, you know? So that's why I'm sticking this together right now. Creating that seal. And this is a very budget-friendly way. These things cost like $5. 200 pesos together. It gives you a lot of epoxy. I'm able to create a little seal here. So again, this is just strictly, this epoxy seal is just here to help me basically lift the surfboard up and work with it as one piece, just to make my life a little bit easier. Because at the moment we have a metal rod inside of it and epoxy on one half of it, so should be good to go. All right, now that it's all set, I'm gonna let this chill for a little bit. And then actually yesterday one of the workers here taught me a trick that once it sets a little bit like that, once it starts hardening up a little bit, you just come in with some water with your fingertips and you just tap it and it seals even faster. like a little bit more. So I'm gonna do that right after. You can see from an angle, it's not too shabby. It seems to be as straight as a surfboard should be. You know, it's got a little bit of a rocker on the top, maybe a little bit more than it did in the beginning when it was originally shaped. But you know, it's not looking too bad. Not looking too shabby. I think this is gonna be such a cool thing to have up on the inside of the house. You just walk in, the first thing you see is a surfboard at the top. Super cool. Now check this out. Watch the epoxy transform. Look how rough it is, and boom, smooth. Like that. Dip some water in there. Touch it a little bit. Look at that. Smooth as heck. Smooth out all the grooves. Alright. It's been a few hours. I'm sorry I've been really bad at like updating you exactly what I'm doing within the day. I am so busy. I've made myself as busy as I was in New York City on this tropical island. Running around all day. Finally got my tuk-tuk fixed, which now should last for the remainder of the time I spend in the Philippines, but we won't talk about that yet. Hey babies, I love you so much. We're pulling up on the lot now. We're gonna see the update on the surfboard and obviously the ceiling that's been done for today. So let's see what they've been up to. So Louis is doing double time, huh?
Yes, I need.
Double time on the house. Louis has been really working very, very hard with me in the behind the scenes.
Even our worker is angry, maybe angry to me, but never mind. We sit aside this one because I need to help you regarding your situation as of now.
And so what's been done is that the ceiling is pretty much done in like one day. Look at that. I will show you guys the inside look in a bit, but first I want to work a little bit on the skateboard or on the surfboard. But wow, the ceiling is pretty much done in one day. So Kuya Louis took an executive decision and decided to even cover the cocoa lumber that was here with plywood, which looks amazing. It looks super nice. I mean, this is gonna fit even nicer into the design now because it's all plywood. It's all that marine plywood with the wood etching. It's beautiful. They did an amazing job in one day. Literally 90% of the ceiling is done. Kuya was saying double time, it's more like quadruple time. They had a 7-day gap to finish this. They were going to finish it in 7 days. They did it in one. So it's like quintuple time. It's sescental time. It's not even double time. It's like 7 times the speed of what they were supposed to do it. Which is amazing.
And then my plan as for tonight.
Yes.
In our CR is again treatment again.
Treatment for the Hardy Flex?
Yes.
So this is the home treatment. So you just put this on the wood.
Yes.
With
wood.
a sponge.
Wood. Not only wood, also this area.
Oh, everything.
Around this house.
So this termicide. Goodbye, Anay.
Yes.
Anay is termite?
So meaning goodbye, Anay. Hello. But I'm sorry.
Well, I want to show you guys why we have to do this. In Siargao, there's a really big issue with a thing called bukbuk, which sort of hangs out on the top of the trees, and I noticed this the other week. This is a cocoa lumber, a coconut tree right outside of my house. Check this out. If I go in here, start breaking it open, look at all the bugs. Those are all little roly-polies and termites, and they have a bunch of larvae in here, like a bunch of babies. And these guys will they will go into the plywood and they will destroy everything. And they'll eat it over time, and that's a problem. It's a problem that gets going and doesn't stop. So treating it once is good, but in reality, the materials of this house are not going to last forever. We're still in the middle of the jungle with tropical weather. It's going to get wet. It's going to get rained on frequently. So the reality is probably every 5 to 10 years I'm going to have to switch all of this out, which is a minor replacement, but hopefully the money makes back the money. The house makes back the money in the future on that. That's part of the realities of living in a tropical island like this. So now we're gonna work a little bit on the surfboard, see if the epoxy has set. Okay, so Rico brought up a good point. The longboard, my life, but this is I actually glued this whole thing, but we can't use the whole board because it's too long for the staircase. So we have to cut a portion of it. We're doing the measurement now. So we have 9-foot longboard. How much space we have there? 8, 7. We need to do measurements now, and then I'm gonna have to cut the board in half again and then glue it together again. It's so fun. You guys need to give them so many follows and likes for the amount of patience they have with me with these stupid ideas that I have.
250, yeah?
250.
Pilang itong iyahan?
So minus 50. Only a little, then maybe we can cut just the tail.
Yes.
Just the up to the fin.
Yes, it's good.
Yes, we don't have to cut it in half. So we can cut up until here. Yeah, that's perfect. We just cut up until the tail.
Later, 10
Okay, na? Tail?
Only 10, sir.
10
Come on. Oh, perfect. Amazing.
Oh, okay na siya.
Okay, na. Perfect. Okay. I will take care of it. No worries. I got it. Okay, so that's it. We only need to trim 10 centimeters. We don't need to cut it in half. It'll fit perfectly well, and then I can start painting it. I have to say that 90% of the times in my life where I jerry-rig shit that I don't know how to do, it doesn't work. This is one of those rare times that I actually managed to do something right. Look at this. The surfboard is together in one piece. I don't know how long it will last like this, me holding it, but it actually is working, which is amazing. So now I'm gonna duct tape it, and then we'll work on the rest. All right, so the last step of this adventure is the Volca seal. I've laid down a layer of it. We're gonna let that set. This is probably also something that's gonna need to set overnight, so I can sort of duct tape this tomorrow. All right, so this is our final look for Thursday. We got Volca seal setting on the surfboard. That's gonna rest overnight. Tomorrow morning it's gonna get some duct tape, sanding, and then paint. In the interior of the house, they are working on treating the restroom. The CR is getting treated. All the plywood in here, and then obviously the ceiling is nearly done. We got literally 2 panels left. In reality, when Kuya Luis told me that this was going to take a week to do, I was a little bit sus. I didn't believe it was going to take a week, and I knew today in the morning when I saw the progress, I was like, there's no way this is going to take them a week. But he told me that they worked overtime, double time since last night doing this, treating this. So I mean, the proof's in the pudding. You can see they put in the day's work. They are tired. They're leaving later than they should be leaving, and it's been raining all day, but they have done an amazing job finishing the ceiling. We are actually fully sealed now. We're actually fully sealed. Tomorrow this plywood ceiling will probably be finished, and then maybe 1 or 2 more days to finish the one in the bathroom. I mean, I'd be surprised if they don't finish it by tomorrow or the next day, and that means by Saturday we have a sort of fully formed house. It's just gonna come down to like finishing everything, like staining the walls, and it's come down to like literally the finishing touches. But we're almost, I'd say we're about 90% there now. This is cocoa lumber for what? For the ceiling also?
Yes.
Scaffolding?
Yes.
Brand new cocoa lumber. Got fresh planks, baby. This is what the delivery looks like. You know, they come on a tricycle, drop off a bunch of cocoa lumber, and then you got all the guapos picking it up and dropping it down. Nice fresh cocoa lumber. Well, Kuya Luis had the suggestion to actually do duct tape now, because it will dry together with the Volca seal. So we're gonna do layers of duct tape. I want to do a really thick layer of duct tape, because then I can sand it, and then it just dries with it all together. I trust his knowledge, because he knows with this stuff more than I do. Even though the two of us are not professional surfboard shapers by any means, we don't know how to put together a broken surfboard. We're just But yeah, we're just gonna duct tape the whole thing around and then finish it off. Oh, it's magic!
It's like a surfboard, huh? Your camera is
My
like
camera's
a surfboard,
surfing.
huh?
Okay, up, sa taas. Okay, should I go left now? This way? Or
Yeah,
more,
right here.
more this way? Okay.
One more.
Wala, di na kaya. Di kaya, no? No need.
No need.
That is wrong. Wait. I am.
Yes, sir. It's okay, no big deal. If it's okay, it's his fault. It's a strong phone, it will survive. He was with me yesterday when I was flying my drone in Stimpy's.
Okay, good idea.
Boom. Another layer down.
Cool.
Morning, guys. So we're back on the lot. It is Friday. The surfboard is pretty much good to go. So now I'm going to hit it with a sander, start preparing it for some paint. But let me show you guys this is the progress inside of the house. You can see 1 day's time, the whole ceiling is done. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? 1 day. They did it in 1 freaking day. Look at that, huh? Entire ceiling in one day. Amazing. Amazing. Look at that. So now, basically the next steps would be with upstairs. All the wood's been treated, so we're gonna stain it all, and then we're gonna seal it. We're gonna bring out a wood grain, make it look really nice, and then seal it up so it's ready to go. But I think first they need to cut out outlets and just like final preparation for this. But look at this, it's done. It's fully sealed. We got a ceiling. Yeah, so to protect myself from all the fiberglass that's gonna be flying around everywhere from this board once I sand it, I got my Omicron variant mask. I've been using this one while I build skateboards, but first I'm going to trim the end of the surfboard that we need to trim for the actual construction. So I'm going to trim that first, then I'll start sanding. So let's first trim it out. Funny, I could actually feel the fiberglass cutting me as I shave this away, but here you go, you can see the cut. So I just went through the first layer of the fiberglass. Now I'm going through the foam, and another layer of fiberglass. Should be done in a few minutes time. I'll show you guys when I'm finished. Boom, that was easy enough. Cut it right down the doohickey. It's all good now. I'm going to sand it, and then we're going to prime it up for the first coat of paint, which is very exciting. So we're going to take this old red surfboard and we're gonna make it white. So I'm not sure how cancerous and terrible this fiberglassing is. That's why I have this really intensive mask on me. I'm a bit terrified, to be honest, of what all this dust can do to my lungs. So that's why I'm taking extra precaution with this mask. So yeah, let's begin sanding. So the goal here is not to over sand, because I don't want to expose the foam. I just want to get all the dirt and grime out of here, so the fiberglass is a little rigid and less smooth so it accepts the paint better. Let's see if I can do it. I think for the sake of an impressive before and after, I'm just gonna show you guys the before. Look at all the dirt and the grime. Still some old wax on here. And then I'll show you guys the after. Okay, my friends, it is sanded. You can see the texture now is a little brighter. Just shaving a little bit of that fiberglass off makes a big difference for the paint to actually, you know, set in there. And I am covered in fiberglass. Or sorry, I keep saying fiberglass. It's actually hardened resin epoxy. So now I'm going to spray it white. So let's begin. So we want to do even coats going in one direction. So I'm going to tackle this side going like this, and we want to start from not too close. And move it along, 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 move it along. Again, this will be a long, drawn-out process, so I will just film bits and pieces of it, and I'll show you guys the finished product at the end. Not too shabby, eh? Look at that. Almost all covered. I realized very quickly though that I'm gonna need more than 2 cans of spray paint to finish this thing. So I'm gonna go let this set soon and then go get more spray paint so I can finish it up later. But I'll let this dry for now. Alright, I'm back from my paint run. I got all the paints for the painting process. And of course, with my luck, it was a beautiful sunny day when I left. And while I left, it started raining a bit. I don't think it's really affected. No, it has. I can see water droplets.
That's not very good. I think the paint is probably sufficiently dried so I can give it a little, I'm going to give it a little wipe down with my shirt, just get the water droplets off. And then I'm going to flip this baby over, give her the undercoat somewhere. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this. I might even lay it down on the tree now, try to get it that way, because I don't think the paint's going to be that dry. Anyways, let's, I'm just going to catch up with you guys when it's fully painted and sealed. I don't really feel like continuing to update this because it's just a small section. But as a side note, you can see they started working on the under shelf here. Cabinet space for the cabinets here below, which is really nice. And I mean, I left before they left for lunch, but I think they probably should be relatively nearly done with the roof here. Ceiling. Yep, there you go. It's the ceiling in the bathroom. Only one more panel left and they're done. 2 days. They finished it in 2 days. Amazing. Okay guys, we got 4 coats of paint on each side. It's been chilling here, resting, drying. I got the clear coat ready to go. I'm gonna spray this thing down and she's gonna be finished and they can start preparing the location for it. But that's it. You can see a fully white longboard. Went from floral to white with duct tape on it. But it looks nice. So I'm gonna seal it up now. Kuya is going to put on the 3rd coat now. First 2 have sort of started drying now. That 3rd coat going on, baby. And obviously when we put on this clear coat, you're not gonna see any sort of visible difference, but the texture and the feel of it, it'll retain this sort of paint on the inside. It'll be resistant to moisture. All right, and there she is, my friends, fully done with the fin exposed. She is finished. I'm gonna put her indoors. Wow, it took many hours, a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm very tired from the whole process. I was out in the sun all day today, and it looks like it's about to rain now, which is perfect timing for me.
Welcome back to the house, ladies and gentlemen. Look what we got in here on the 2nd floor. It's so freaking exciting. Check this out. We got a freaking surfboard in my house. Huh? That's pretty sexy. Self-painted by your boy. Come on, that's gonna be pretty darn cool when you walk into the house and you see a surfboard like that. That's gonna be pretty cool. You can see, boom, bang, they finished the Hardy Flex ceiling of the bathroom. That's all done now. The area here is sort of finished. And we're doing maybe final touches here on the kitchen. Kuya is installing the shelving unit that we're putting in here. So we're gonna put a wall back here, 1 shelf up here, some doors up there so we can close this up and store things inside of here. And it looks very nice. Well, Lewis and I hired a guy to clear this area that was here before. So this was all like basically this overgrown stuff and this tree stump. And we're taking all of the soil that he finishes here and we're filling up the road. It was really important to me that this road stopped getting flooded because every time I drive down here, and I would eventually like to drive my tuk-tuk down here when I'm moving my stuff from where I live now to here. So we're having him fill it up. Basically, what's it called? Filling up this entire road so it's not as muddy and doesn't get as flooded. And we're going to be removing this whole tree stump as well. The eventual goal is to fill up that one, and then we got 3 more big ones along the way. This one as well. So he's hired basically for the next 2 days to try and attempt to fill up 1, 2, and 3, because these are the worst offenders when it gets very flooded. But there's another 2 at the entrance that make the drive really difficult in here. But man, if we can fill this up within a week's time, it's gonna make things really interesting. I'm assuming that this week's video is actually long enough at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. But here's the deal, I wanted to touch on something. It's a super sunny day today, not a cloud in the sky, and that's because we're in the calm before the storm right now. Essentially, one of the biggest typhoons of the season is supposed to hit us tomorrow. So I want the guys basically to pause on pretty much all exterior work for the house, because they were going to be adding nipa, which is sort of the palm fronds on top of the house to reduce the sound of the rain. And they were going to be painting the house supposedly this week. But we're gonna go ahead and try to pause all of that work now because there's a good chance that we're probably gonna take some damage on the property this week. Like, we're gonna see if this fence holds up and everything. We're pretty inland, we're not so close to the beach, so We shouldn't get too much of the wind shear, but it's gonna be 5 days of really high winds, lots and lots of rain, probably a lot of flooding. So it'll be a good test to see how well this house is built. All of that being said, to end off this week's video with my wonderful children, of course. Babies, don't escape, don't escape, don't escape, don't escape. They have this tendency to try to run outside now. My kids, my children, my wonderful little childrens. I love you. Hello, kids. Hello, kids. How are you doing? How are you doing, kids? Babies.
And that's another episode here, building a house in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out Siargao Tropical Builders, my contracting company, down below in the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so you don't miss a single episode as we continue constructing this tiny house in the Philippines in Siargao Island. And by the way, guys, now you can become a member here on the Traveling Clat. By joining my channel, you'll unlock awesome loyalty badges next to your name in the comments and during live chats. And also, you can use custom Clat emojis on the comments and live chats. You're gonna get shoutouts monthly on this channel, and it only costs $2.99 a month. It's an amazing way to support the channel, especially during this crazy time. So if you can, I would more than appreciate you joining my community here on the channel. I love you guys long time, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.